Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee Podcast. This is our preview of Week 12 of college football. As always, I'm Jordan. I am the Vice President of Single Dadding tonight. My wife's out of town, so my door is slightly ajar, and I'm talking with maybe a little less energy than usual, just so no one hears me. With me, as always, is the Commissioner and our special guest, Katie. Katie, how are you doing tonight?
Good, guys. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Commish?
Doing pretty good. It's been a rough couple days personally, and definitely know that in the college football world, it's been rough also for the folks out in Virginia and Charlottesville. We want to just send all our love to them, and we definitely heartbreaking news that came out of there late Sunday night, early Monday morning. Just want to send all our condolences and everything. As a committee, we really try to focus on the fun and good stuff. And with Virginia, I just don't think we're going to be able to, I guess, rank them on our list anymore this year. We don't want to just bring them any sort of, I guess, negative attention at this point. We just wish them all the best, and we wish everybody some peace in this rough and trying time. Again, just sending all the love from the committee. We love you out there in Charlottesville and the Virginia University community.
Absolutely. All the good vibes to y'all. It's been a rough week, and I can't imagine the tragedy and loss you guys feel. From us to you, you're in our thoughts. So on my side, we almost didn't have this podcast tonight because I had a gas leak at my house today.
That's wild.
My wife sent me a text being like, "Hey, is the thing out in the the driveway a gas meter?" I go, "I think so." Is it supposed to be hissing? Probably not. I was like, "What? What do you smell when you get near it? Do you smell gas?" She goes, "I smell it a little bit." Well, you should probably call 911 then. Turns out it was like a very small gas leak, and they patched. It's fine now, but not the kind of text I wanted to get today. I'm glad that my house probably will not be blowing up tonight. So, L'chaim, things are going well in that regard, at least.
I'm glad that your house did not explode or blow up or anything like that, especially with your night of single dadding, so to speak. So
That would have made that a lot more difficult. Yeah, I won't lie. It's already. It's not to say that I can't do this. It's not to say that this is a difficult task. It's whatever. It's expected. But also dealing with an exploded home might have pushed it over to the hard difficulty level. We'll say that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So the other thing is, our friends at the Duke's Mayo Bowl need a new mayo pourer, and we have seen lots of great things already from folks around the internet and our followers too.
I just have a question. Can we resurface the GIF, please? Just like, can we make an annual tradition? I just think it needs to be one. I know! I'm on board.
I want
Jordan.
to.
I'm on board.
I want to put that GIF back up. Let me do it, Commish.
Just do it while the commish is sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, you normally get me at it's like 6 a.m, and all of a sudden he's starting a fire on Twitter saying that, saying that, hey, booing is awful. We need to stop booing. We need to whistle.
That wasn't a fire. That was a tiny fire. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
that take was a tiny fire.
By the way, Jordan, I do agree with you on the fall weddings are fine. It doesn't make me angry because I'll just watch it on my phone. I didn't actually went to an entire wedding. The one I went to in DC, I went to the entire wedding, most of the reception, and then left to watch the Florida State Clemson game in a bar nearby. It was great. It was a great experience. So yeah, I'm fine with it as well.
By the way, I think the take that I put out tonight was that Texas shaped waffles taste better. That was the hot take I threw out tonight.
Where was this? What is going on? Texas.
You missed it. It was.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, it was a thread. Our good friends at Texas Football Life, who I love, who have a very similar sense of humor. They're the ones that put out the school distances to Whataburgers. They're our kind of people, and they put out a list of high school football logos that are just the shape of the state of Texas with letters on it and how many there are in the state.
Okay.
And so they put that, and I said, that's great. Also, Texas-shaped waffles taste better. Something we just covered on this podcast.
I didn't even.
Got to move fast with me.
So great.
Again, I'm like, I mean, I run the CVS to get stuff for the family and whatnot, and I come back and you're starting fires with Texas-shaped waffles taste better. Which, I mean, really, whatever. It's a waffle.
Yeah.
That's fine. The fall wedding's fine. We're fine. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, the gif of it's a Philadelphia ice cream company.
Is it Philadelphia? I thought it was Dutch, but it might be.
I
don't know.
No.
I think it's Dutch. No, I thought it was Dutch.
Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Philadelphia-based ice cream company. And I mean, if you want to bring that back, I mean, we're approaching 69,000 followers.
We
If
need to
they
drop
get,
some. We're getting too many. That's what I'm
you're getting
thinking
too
here.
many.
We're getting too many. We gotta cut it down, and
You gotta weed out
that
the weak.
that one will absolutely do it.
I mean, we had somebody in our mentions today when I think Ducky tweeted something about the Michigan Dreadnoughts.
Yeah,
The
The Drake Dreadnoughts.
Drake Dreadnoughts. I believe, is that his high school? I don't know, but
I don't
I
know.
mean
I think he just likes
they're
it.
whatever. And then somebody's like, you guys are getting a bigger platform, and you need to be responsible with it. Like I'm like I
Yep.
don't know if it was a
We're gonna
threat
be
or just a
totally
joke.
responsible with this. It's what we
What
do.
is responsible about talking about a high school football team? I have so many questions.
It's okay. Someone also threatened to unfollow us because I said that Bowling Green was the best football team in brown and orange in the country right now.
Is there another team in brown and orange?
The Browns.
The Browns,
Oh,
yeah.
Bowling Green has a better record.
That's what angry Browns fans have I mentioned. God.
Well, I
That's
mean, you are
amazing.
tweeting about Maction in the middle of Ohio, so you probably got them all stirred up already. So
The Mayo Bowl but we've talked to the Mayo Bowl folks.
yes, we
Yeah,
have.
love
We're
it.
gonna be amplifying some of our followers that are going out for this job.
Anyways, I've thought about I might submit something at some point, but it did remind me of the GIF last year, and I just think it should be an annual tradition until the commissioner sees it and then pulls it down.
You can sneak it on me. Whenever you see like somebody appearing to eat their head, and it looks like they're appearing to be covered in mayo, but it's actually supposed to be an ice cream commercial. Yeah, enjoy that. And that was the one of the things that Katie has never forgotten from the
Oh,
Sickos account, and that was probably when we were maybe like 4,000
it was
followers.
like, yeah, it was
Yeah,
small.
it
That
was,
was my
Yeah,
first meaningful.
we were real small.
That
we
was
were
my
very.
first meaningful interaction because I don't remember what I said, but then I was like, oh, there's a shadow government, and that's when I realized there are multiple people running this account.
It wasn't just one person. No, yeah, I
So
was the
we
one that.
became friends, guys.
All right, if you want to, I mean, you could. Is there a way to put like a gift that's a content warning?
I wonder. Yeah, I bet you I can.
Yes,
I'll
there
do that. I'll do
is.
that. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yes.
It
The
needs a content
first
warning.
content warning we've ever done. I'm so
The
The
Sickos
excited.
person that had the great video is at DevalKK, DEVALKK.
Oh.
Oh yes,
He's a clerked mayo dumper extraordinaire. He also made the chocolate mayo cake.
yes, he did.
Amazing.
I love the one where
Um,
he's like
oh,
boxing. I think he's got his kid like working out with
Yep.
him
Hmm.
with the mayo jars and everything.
It's
So
like dodging the mayo jars. No, he did a great
yes,
job. So,
Guys, chocolate mayo cake is actually really good.
Katie, what celeb photos do you have going around college football? What is this?
I
oh,
don't know.
I follow Katie on Instagram. So
Okay.
I got Katie on Instagram, and I've been noticing that she's been gallivanting around the United States
Yeah.
to different college football games. She's got a few celebrity photos lately, and I'm like, what? How are you
do.
meeting these people?
Who do you
So I mean,
have?
they're college football celebrity photos.
Um,
So I'll let her talk about it though.
I've tweeted them too, but it's on Saturdays when everyone's tweeting everything. Okay, so a few things. One, last year I went to 4 college football games.
Mhm.
The 2 like travel ones I did were Florida at Missouri, which was so fun because Florida lost. It was when Dan Mullen got fired. And
Gotcha.
then Auburn at A&M, which was fun because I just never been to A&M before. This year, I think it's like people just know if you invite me, I will go. If I can figure it out, I'll go. And this year, I also turned 40 and decided I was doing the things that I love this year. And college
Well,
football is one of my life's greatest passions. My big travel game this year was Florida State at LSU, which was my birthday weekend, which was so fun. But the Clemson at Notre Dame game, which was incredible, got to storm the field. Y'all, that game was so fun. We went to the Linebacker Inn, which is the famous bar right across, near Notre Dame Stadium, and we went at like noon, and the game was at like 7:30. We were like, we'll get a bite to eat, drink, whatever. I found Iowa fans, a number of them. Just they had bought tickets to the Iowa Purdue game and then got nervous they were going to lose and we're like, we're not doing that. We're going to sell our tickets and we're going to go to Clemson at Notre Dame. So they sold their tickets and drove to Clemson at Notre Dame. I was chatting with them at the bar and I mentioned something about the Sickos because they were talking about college football in general. And I said, are you familiar with the Sickos committee? And they were like, yeah, they love us. And I was like, I know them really well. And so anyways, it was a really fun experience. Iowa fans are the
awesome.
best. I love all of you. But the actual celebrities I saw that weekend, Mike Golick Sr. and Mike Golick Jr. One, we parked at like a student's house, and
Yeah.
these guys manning the parking lot said, Mike Golick Sr. just drove by on his golf cart. And I was like, which way did he go? We're going to go find him. So we got to wave to him in his townhome. And then he and Golick Jr. tweeted that they were going to be at a Chili's in South Bend on Sunday.
Like you do.
And so I was like, oh, we're definitely going to Chili's. Number one, I want a Presidente margarita. Haven't had one in years. Still delicious. So thank you, Chili's. And number two, I was just like, I want to meet them. I love both of them. So we went. I expected there to be a decent number of fans. And I was like, if this is like a book signing or there's too many people, we'll just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were like one of the only people there that were fans. There was like 3 or 4, maybe other people. And my friend Melanie and I are both like, number one, huge college football fans. Number two, we'll talk to anyone. Like we're both in sales jobs, like just,
Gotcha,
super
yeah.
outgoing. So we were chatting with them for a super long time. They are both every bit as wonderful as you'd hope in person, like just the kindest, the nicest. I do regret not telling Golick Jr. that I'm in the Sickos committee because I know that he loves you guys. And
He would
Chicken
know,
City
yeah.
actually is the one who tweeted to me and said, you should have told him. And I was like, oh, I should have. But they were so nice. They gave us their tickets for the Boston College at Notre Dame game next week, which,
Oh, wow.
or this weekend, which I'm so sad that I cannot go. I'm actually going to be in New Orleans again. I'm going to a concert with my mom, an Eagles
Nice.
concert with my mom. So yeah, that was the first one. Again, I cannot say overstate how kind they were. They talked to us for such a long time. And then this past weekend, I went to, this one was an easy one because I got super cheap tickets and it's close by. I went to the South Carolina, Florida game.
Yeah.
And my friend Melanie was with me at this one as well. She legitimately loves college football every bit as much as I do. And had a coworker that had a box. And so we got passes to that
Ooh.
box.
Ooh,
We got
nice.
passes during the fourth quarter. And we were having a hard time finding how you get up to them, which was fortuitous because we were a little bit trying to figure out how to get up there. Anyways, coming out of the security for the boxes as we were going in was Steve Spurrier, which I was starstruck. I kind of couldn't talk for a minute because I love him. Even though I'm a Florida State fan, he's just a legend. He's wonderful.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So we asked for a picture. He's very annoyed, but he's like, yeah, make it quick. So my pictures are very blurry, which is great. It's very on brand.
Yeah.
And then behind him was Bob Stoops. And so asked Bob Stoops for a photo as well. Also very salty, in a hurry, which kind of surprised me about Bob. Not Steve at all. Steve, I expected that. It was what I wanted out of him.
You don't want nice grandfatherly Steve. You want,
Hate Matt Spurrier. You want hate Matt Spurrier.
I'd be like, Steve, tell me how much of an asshole I am. Tell me what I look like, Steve. Come on.
Tell me how much I've disappointed you just by being right here.
Right.
Anyways, Bob Stoops was a little they were in a very big hurry. In my mind, they're going. So Steve Spurrier has a restaurant in Gainesville, which we actually went to for brunch on Saturday. It's really good. So the wings I've had were probably in the top 10 wings I've ever had. They were amazing. Anyways, in my mind, Steve has a private room there and they were going to, watch the rest of the games and enjoy time in that room. So fortuitously, both of these trips, met people that I love and adore. And it was a great experience. I'm very glad that I went.
I assume that Bob was off to talk with Steve about his new coaching job.
That's right. He had the XFL draft. He had the XFL draft. Yeah, Bob Stoops had the XFL draft. He had to draft his quarterbacks. It's very serious. Bob Stoops has got to go. I think he's the Dallas. Is it the Dallas Renegades, or they call it something different now?
Shut the fuck up. They are not the Dallas Renegades. They are the Arlington Renegades, sir.
Okay. Oh my God, I have offended the Dallas Fort Worth area by mentioning Dallas and Fort Worth and not mentioning what they're called, Arlington.
Arlington Renegades, sir.
Wait, so is he involved in a...
He's the head coach.
He's the head coach of the XFL
Bob
team.
Stoops is?
Yes.
This is... Okay, that's incredible. Because didn't Steve Spurrier used to be, or was it CFL? He was one of the two, right? For a year?
Steve Spurrier was part of the... What was the Apollos? Was that the AAF? Yeah. The one that lasted 5 games?
It was the one that was in Orlando. He was the Orlando... I think it was...
Yeah, he was the Apollos coach. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was, yeah.
So this week, we're going to call this Redistributed Rivalry Week because a lot of our traditional rivalry games are this week and not week 13 for whatever reason.
I'm very upset about this. I'd like to speak to a manager, but if that means conference commissioners, I don't think I want to talk to them.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk to them.
I'm going to find someone else to talk to.
Katie wants to speak to the manager. I love it.
I'm being a Karen about this and I'm fine with it.
So let's talk about 6:30 on ABC. We've got Bedlam. Oklahoma State. This is in Norman. This is the 117th meeting. This is the record is 90, 19, and 7. The most one-sided rivalry I think that's been played this long. Maybe Navy Notre Dame might be one more one-sided.
Is
but it's
Georgia
close.
Tech Georgia pretty
No.
one-sided too though?
No,
It's not that
it's pretty
one-sided?
even. That's
Okay.
pretty even because
Okay,
that one's been really swingy. Oklahoma State has never been good
Well, in
until
this
the
game,
last in this game
Yeah.
specifically, yeah.
yes.
I mean, traditionally they've never been good also. They had Kansas State levels of garbage for a long time. But in this game especially, this looks like Oklahoma State should win this, which means that something heartbreaking is going to happen and they're going to lose it because that's how this game works.
I mean, this one, Oklahoma needs this. They're 5-5.
Yeah, I know.
They needed to get bowl eligible. Can you imagine at the beginning of the year, like just saying Oklahoma's 5-5 going into Bedlam?
That's insane.
It's just a weird sentence. There is a lot of folks in the committee that want this one to be the game of the week. I'm just going to say that there is a bunch in our chat that are really talking this one through, and they're pushing this one to be the game of the week. I'm not sure if we're going to have consensus this week, so maybe we have a poll.
This week's going to be hard to have consensus, I think.
I think so too.
So this game might be the one I'm most upset about being moved because this game to me is always Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I feel personally attacked a little bit. I'm very upset about this.
So continuing on in our redistributed rivalry week. God, I can never say that.
Yeah.
Rivalry week. Let's go out to the Pac-12. 4:30 on the Pac-12 network. Fire up your VPNs. Stanford at Cal, the big game. This is the 125th meeting of the two teams. Stanford leads the series 65, 48, and 11. I will say I found out a couple things about this. One, there was a pause in this series from 1915 to 1917 because Stanford decided to play rugby instead. That feels
interesting.
That feels right.
It feels on brand. Yeah, I agree.
Both teams are 3-7 this year. This is probably the worst matchup in terms of these teams both being of really bad quality in a long time, probably since the 60s.
So I tried to do some quick research here. So if I'm incorrect, you can yell at me. It's fine. I tried to figure this one out because a lot of people in the committee want this one to be Sickos game of the week. So they have some opinions on this one. So they're both 3-7. The worst ever record matchup I've seen. Really, I didn't go past 1960, but Stanford was 0-9 coming into this, and Cal was 1-7-1.
This is this is real Crapple Cup feel, yeah.
Yeah, so that was in 1960. So they're both 3-7. Looking at it quickly, I haven't seen a game where both teams were awful. There's been some years where like Stanford was like 0-9 and Cal was like 5-5, or the other way around, where like Stanford was like 8-2 or something like that, and Cal was down. In this one, I think this is probably the worst record matchup since 1960, and I'm going to go with that Sickos committee fact that, of course, please do not check. I think somebody wants to tell a story about something here.
Let's talk about the Phoenix Five. On October 17th, 1998, 5-member of Cal's Theta Chi fraternity stole the Stanford Tree from the Stanford Band Shack. They had no ill intent, did it as a joke. They released letters to Cal student newspaper written by the Tree saying it didn't like Stanford anymore and preferred Berkeley, but would return to Palo Alto before the big game. They sent pictures of the Tree bound and gagged, like blindfolded, and like ransom notes. Cal's administrators threatened to stop Oski from coming to the games, and a $5,000 reward was offered, but the Phoenix Five refused to give it up on any terms but their own. They returned it to the chancellor's office, but not before they paraded it around on a local TV station in the parking lot of an empty school in Oakland. And then, the and one on this, the Tree was shredded in a tree shredder by the Stanford band at halftime of their game versus USC because it was, quote, contaminated.
Stanford is fun.
This is one of the most successful mascot thefts ever.
That's great.
And the Phoenix Five, some of them have come out and admitted to who they were. Some are still anonymous.
Oh, yeah. I'd be keeping that anonymous forever.
This is a big deal. The big game is a lot of bad blood in the Bay Area. There are lots of pranks. This is a very classic rivalry. Then we have 7 p.m. on Fox, not game day. USC goes to UCLA. UCLA, you had one fucking job, and it was not to lose to Arizona.
Man, you're really upset about this. Like, I
I
You
mean,
are.
this
I'm so angry. I heard
really?
myself talk about it last. I am. I really am. It's my wife's family's school.
Okay.
Like
I was gonna say I
I
need reasons
I
why.
have I
Okay,
have an
yeah,
actual
that makes
connection.
sense.
I have an actual connection to it.
That's fair.
Okay, okay,
That's fair.
My
okay.
my father-in-law had Rose Bowl tickets for the longest time. Sorry, UCLA season tickets to the Rose Bowl for the longest
Mhm.
time. Clearly not Rose Bowl tickets if UCLA was playing. Seeing them be on a hot streak felt so good, and to see them just absolutely get eaten up by a quarterback who I love but who has happy feet just killed me.
Mm.
So
I went back
you're
and rewatched some of those Jane Delora highlights.
yeah. I mean,
Jesus Christ, he just runs everywhere.
I'm glad they're going to the Brawl of the Wild. I
Oh, I am
understand you
too.
being yeah. I mean, I understand that you're upset that UCLA lost. I mean, the uniform matchup here is always great when they do the let's say the garnet and gold, as Katie likes to say. For
Mhm.
she
It's
really
all
loves when
garnet
I
and
say that.
gold.
Excuse me. I did
Yeah.
not say that. I
Sorry,
love
No,
that
no,
you said
it's
that.
no.
It's the
That's
Stanford
what
and
I meant.
gold.
It's the Stanford and gold
Oh,
for
yeah.
USC, which me messing that up and then immediately a few minutes later, like, oh, I'm an idiot. So yeah, I'm definitely an idiot. But no, I love the uniform matchup. Like both of them wearing the home colors. I mean, I remember the year where they both were like, whatever, we'll get a penalty, or I think one of them like lost a timeout
And the other one
because
just
they
called
were the,
they,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, what kind of crazy rule that is? But again, this it feels too early for this game. It doesn't
right.
make any sense that it's playing this weekend. I mean, it should be after Thanksgiving, and so again, this is that weird redistribution of the rivalries, which
Wait,
is never fun.
I think this game though is always played this weekend or earlier in the season because I think USC Notre Dame is always rivalry weekend, right? Or am I misremembering that?
It depends. Sometimes
Okay. Okay.
sometimes the SC Notre Dame game is the last game of the season. Sometimes it's the second to last game. It
Okay.
that they have flip flopped a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this year, USC Notre Dame is the last game of the year. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just something that they had to work out with Notre
Mm.
Dame. So I mean that could be something like that. But
Can't move the Boston College game, baby. That's a big one.
well, I mean that is the Catholics versus Catholics
That
rivalry.
Mhm.
is.
So
Mhm.
the I can't remember what version of Catholic Boston College is, but I think they're the Jesuits.
Are they
Jesuits,
Um,
yeah.
Jesuit? Are they
I
and
think
Jesuit?
then
Is
yeah.
that
Notre
college Jesuit?
Mhm.
and Notre
I
Dame
think they
is
are.
the Notre Dame seminary action there. So yeah, it's Catholics versus Catholics. That shirt probably wouldn't sell as well as the other one.
Another rivalry game that's out of place. TCU at Baylor, 11 a.m. on
Guys,
Fox.
I have my TCU shirt on.
Rah rah rah,
Rah
TCU.
rah. Mostly because it has a frog in a fur. Like, who doesn't want a shirt with a
Oh,
frog in a
it's
fur?
great. I mean, any of those old mascots that are wearing fur coats, the Slippery Rock especially, like
Mhm.
that's
I have that
class.
one too. Shout out to home field. We love some home field action.
TCU leads this series 57-53 to 10. I want to tell you guys a story about the game in 71. TCU's coach died on the sideline.
Oh, mercy.
He had a heart attack 5 minutes into the game.
Did they
They
stop the game?
Okay, so funny story. Let's continue this story.
Okay.
He's credited with the win, which implies what?
That they played.
So here's what happened. This is from the New York Times. Steve Judy scored twice and passed for 2 other touchdowns tonight to lead TCU to a 34-27 victory over Baylor. The game was less than 5 minutes old and scoreless when Jim Pittman, in his first full season as TCU head coach after 4 years at Tulane, fell to the ground while pacing the sideline in front of the TCU bench. He suffered an apparent heart attack and died in the hospital later. The quarterback and his teammates were told the coach's death at halftime when the score was tied 20-20, but the 30,000 fans in the stands were not informed. The death was announced at the end of the game.
Oh my gosh. What?
Who won?
Oh
TCU
wow.
won,
Okay,
TCU, yeah.
and
Okay.
the coach is credited with the win. They did give him the credit.
I
I
would
can't
think
believe they
so.
kept playing the game.
I
That's
can't.
wild.
That is so mind blowing to me.
We do emergency landings on planes for people that have like heart attacks, but if it's a football game, the state of Texas, no, absolutely not.
I can't seem to find a story about how long the game was even paused.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well,
So
if he went to the hospital, I wonder if like who knows? Who knows?
who knows? So yeah, this game has had a TCU coach die at it.
That's incredible.
So this
Wow.
game, the rivalry, the holy war, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of like weird old bad blood in this rivalry. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
when this came back again, it was huge.
these two schools don't like each other at all. It is really relatively close to each other. I mean, really, like what I-35, Baylor and
2
and then
hours, 3 hours,
Waco.
3
Yeah,
hours, yeah.
really not that far away from each other at all. Like probably like 3 hours with traffic, even though like without traffic, it's like an hour and a half. But it's I-35, so of course there's tons of traffic. So yeah, these two schools, they play nuts. I know it's like TCU's ranked high, and we're like, why are we talking about this one? But again, it's part of the redistribution of the rivalries, which they typically finish the year playing each other, and so it's a little bit higher than normal. I guess week wise in week 12.
It also makes me think of the 2014 game that knocked TCU out of the playoffs that time. I think it was 2014 because Baylor won 61-58. It was a super high scoring game. And it was a game where the way the season ended up, basically, that one of the teams, like they sort of knocked each other out of the playoffs together at that point. And that just reinvigorated the bad blood. This is actually a really balanced rivalry. TCU leads the series 57-53-7. This has been played 117 times, and that still counts. Like think about how long TCU wasn't in the Southwest Conference with Baylor. Once the Southwest Conference dissolved, TCU got ejected and Baylor got in. That's the other thing. You have to remember that history's there too. There were a lot of people that believed that the governor of Texas, Ann Richards, lobbied to get Baylor into the Big 12. And TCU got cast off into, at that point, I think first it was the WAC, then the Mountain West, and they did their, tour of duty and all the other conferences. So lots of bad blood, lots of fun. Baylor would love to ruin TCU's perfect season.
All right, let's do the action update. That'll be two days old by the time we
yeah,
release
go
the
for it.
packet. All right, 4th and 7. Toledo has the ball, down 6 on Bowling Green's 30-yard line. A minute left in the game. Toledo needs a touchdown and needs to convert here, down 6. Ohio is pretty much put Ball State away. Oh, it is now final. The Bobcats, 32, Ball State 18.
Okay. In the Big 12, this isn't really a rivalry, but it feels like one. Texas goes to Lawrence.
Touchdown, Toledo!
FS 1, 2:30 p.m. Is Toledo ahead now?
Toledo, touchdown! They need the extra point.
I don't want to say a single word about Texas at Kansas. Fuck everything about this game. I think Kansas wins because this Texas team, if they look like they looked like last week, they are totally screwed. So let's go to, we'll talk about them later, but this is FCS rivalry week really as well, because this is their last regular season game for FCS. We'll talk about some of those later on, but there's also a lot of rivalries in there as well. The Big Ten. Can I interest anyone here in Indiana at Michigan State, 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network? Anyone?
Is this basketball?
No. This is football.
It's not the basketball game that interrupted the college football playoff rankings this evening.
How about some Northwestern at Purdue?
Well, you said that this is the one that Northwestern inexplicably wins.
I'll double down on that.
Okay.
Even after what they did after the Iowa game, I'm feeling this. I think this is Northwestern's inexplicable win.
See, this is like kind of one where like Purdue's riding high after just like basically cutting Illinois at the knees last week and ruining their hopes. I mean, this feels classic Purdue trap game action here, so I can see it happening. I hope it doesn't happen because I want the more madness of the Big Ten West. But Northwestern doing something like this really throws even more chaos in the Big Ten West. Nobody controls their destiny in the Big Ten West.
Iowa, Minnesota, Fox at 3 p.m. for Floyd of Rosedale for the Piggy. The high is supposed to be 16 degrees.
Ooh.
And one of our followers asked us if one of the teams would actually score over that temperature. So which will be higher? One of the teams scores or the high temperature that day?
That's a great question. That's a really good question.
The over-under on this was like 32.5, I think. It was very low. I think that Iowa has this one, and I don't know why.
It's hard to bet against. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to pick in that one.
So I think one team gets over 16. I will say that.
What about both?
No.
Okay.
17-14. That's what we're going for.
I can see. I'm seeing like 17-13. I'm seeing that. I feel like there's going to be some field goals. Definitely, really, really think this one's going to be a weird one. The Toledo touchdown is under review right now.
Mm.
It says that he may have stepped out at the one. There is under review. 53 seconds left. Toledo has the ball on the 1 yard line. So all the holy Toledo. Well, that was an easy touchdown for them. Never mind. Toledo got the touchdown.
Okay.
It was probably the easiest 1 yard run ever. I don't
There
know
we
what
go.
happened there. So now they have the touchdown extra point to basically take the lead with less than about 50 seconds remaining. I love giving these live updates on the podcast because it's so old.
Oh yeah,
By
no,
the
it's
time you
ancient
listen
by the
to it,
time. Oh yeah,
it's so great. It's
By
amazing.
the time it comes out, oh yeah, it's
oh, it's
great.
great.
I agree.
But
I agree.
we're sickos. We're sickos. So
Of
this
course.
it fits. I really think it fits.
The Iowa Minnesota game is very important in terms of who actually ends up winning the Big Ten West. Like this is one of the big linchpin games.
Which is incredible.
they're all linchpins if we're being really honest, but this one especially is.
It's just beautiful that it is. It's just beautiful.
Then we go on at 11 a.m. on ESPN, Wisconsin, Nebraska. This one had some of the worst uniforms I've ever seen a couple years back. The W and the N uniforms.
Bring those back.
No, those were awful. These two
Yeah.
teams play for the Freedom Trophy, which is like an American flag and about the troops.
But none of them have any blue in their uniforms. What I mean,
No.
just red
I
and
know.
white.
Yeah.
Let's put blue pants on everybody this year. Do it, cowards.
So
I
maybe-
did.
Denim. Everybody plays in denim. Yes.
That is super Nebraska. That is Nebraska as hell. The other Big Ten game that needs to be talked about is Penn State at Rutgers. Rutgers needs this game. They need this one, and they need Maryland to be bowl eligible.
Oh,
Can
I'm
we
pulling
get-
for that? Yeah.
Can we
I
get
want
bowl
that.
eligible Rutgers?
I
Well,
want
I
that.
mean,
Mhm.
They made a bowl last year at 5-7. So I mean, maybe they don't need it.
Wait,
Again?
but was it because someone couldn't make their bowl last year
Yes.
because of COVID? Yeah, or something like that.
They
Yeah.
ended up playing in the Gator Bowl, was it?
Yes,
Yes.
I think it was
Against
something like that. Yeah.
They
against
took
Wake
A&M's
Forest.
They took A&M's spot
Yes.
on like 3 days notice or whatever. They got blown out by Wake. Yes.
They were leading
oh,
Wake.
God.
They were leading Wake at a certain point in that game. So
So let's get out of the Big Ten because I need to feel emotionally better about myself. Kamish, tell me exactly what's going to happen at Ole Miss at Arkansas, 6:30 on the SEC Network.
completely normal game, well executed, everything boring, just great execution, smooth game plans, nothing wild at all. Just normal, Razorback and Ole Miss Rebel football. That nothing ever happens in this game at all, ever.
Nothing, which means that it's going to be a complete meltdown, fire, screaming. It will either be 56-54 or 6-3, and Lane Kiffin will be throwing things into the crowd.
Lane Kiffin will be naked at the 50-yard line,
I mean,
just
Yeah.
laying in the middle of the field.
Wasn't the game they played last year like 53-52 in like overtime?
It
And like
was
a 2 point
close, yeah.
conversion. Then there was the crazy like 4th and 20 some odd overtime conversion that basically kept Ole Miss out of the college football playoff in the
Yep.
SEC championship.
Mhm.
I feel like the famous thing that Bunky always tweets about mashed potatoes was from this game.
I think it was.
I think it was.
You mean about the gentleman who's going to stick his dick in the mashed potatoes? Is that what you're talking about?
Y'all, that video never ceases to make me laugh. Even like just the picture of the guy, I start giggling. It's so good.
I don't care what these teams are ranked. It's
Yeah.
gonna be off the rails. There is definitely nothing normal about this game ever. And you put these two fan bases together, it's fireworks. And the teams you put them together, it's just absolutely insane every single time.
And then
Love
next
it.
week we have the Egg Bowl. God bless us, each and every one.
It's gonna be out of control this year for so many reasons.
Oh, I'm already starting to have a schedule ahead because next Sunday the World Cup starts,
Oh yeah.
and we're going to be like quadruple booked for games for a while. You know how you're supposed to pick an easy team if you're in the SEC for this week? Usually you pick your SoCon rival, Western Kentucky at Auburn.
Yeah. Ooh.
If they wear Big Red on the helmet again, I am betting Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers
need
by
to get-
30.
We need to get you one of those big red helmets, Jordan, because it was really
God.
good. It's really good.
So good. It's so good. I need a
It's really good.
plushie. What I really want is like a
Yeah,
plushie. I want a big
yeah.
red plushie somewhere. I'd be the happiest camper alive.
Home
I
field, make some plushies. That's what we
God, be
want.
so good. I think that this is a weird choice for Auburn to take this week because
Mm,
you look
mhm.
at who the other SEC teams are playing. This is when you play your cupcakes this week.
Well, I mean, LSU's playing UAB, so not necessarily,
Not
I would say,
necessarily a
a
cupcake.
cupcake, but the rest of the SEC maybe could be playing some sort of cupcakes, but
Minus Ole Miss, Arkansas.
yeah, it seems like that's the only conference game this week.
Wait,
Well,
no,
no, there's
time out. There are some more. This is weirder
okay,
than I thought.
yeah,
So Alabama's playing Austin P.
yeah,
Mississippi State's playing East Tennessee State.
uh-huh,
Florida's playing their SoCon cupcake Vanderbilt.
yes,
Georgia, Kentucky.
no, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Missouri, New Mexico State. This is a weird combination.
Again, it's just so weird. Like the SoCon week is even messed up. So
Yeah.
the traditional rivals of the SEC have been partially rescheduled in this situation,
I
and
don't like this.
Where's Charleston State? Where's Furman? Where's
yeah,
Samford? The classics.
I know. I mean, gotta play the hits.
One of the hits. Don Brown is going to Texas A&M, 11 a.m. on SEC Network Plus. Our good friend Stats at War
We love
gives
Parker. He's
UMass
so
a
great.
probability of 16.76% chance of winning this game. Hey, A&M, 16.76 chance UMass wins this. So the funniest outcome, of course, is A&M losing this, then beating LSU, right? LSU is already in the SEC championship game, but they'll go in with 3 losses.
Jordan, like this is yeah. These were my like. There, y'all know how much I do not love pulling for A&M.
Yeah.
And y'all know how much I do not want to pull for LSU, candidly, because I don't really like Brian Kelly. Don't think he's a great guy. There is nothing I want more this season. I don't know. I think I'm searching my heart right now. I might give up the win to Florida in order for this to happen, because the thought of Georgia having a transitive loss to UMass warms my heart for some reason. And I don't even dislike Georgia. I just want the CFP to go out the window.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That is the kind of thing that would absolutely be like, well, we got to have 12 teams. We got to expand it right now because our math no longer works. Shit.
And I just want more college football in general. So,
what do you think Don Brown's gonna eat in College Station? Does he go for steak? Does he go for the meat department? The championship win? Do you bring in the championship meat judging department to pick your steak?
Ooh.
Can you request that?
I think Don Brown goes for a chicken fried steak, and he gets the cream gravy because it reminds him of clam chowder.
Eats it separately. Can I get a soup bowl with some crackers on top?
Can I get some of the cream gravy on the side with some oyster crackers, please?
oh
my God, no way. Bowling Green touchdown.
Yes.
With 9 seconds left.
Let's go Falcons. Caw! Florida at Vandy. This is definitely Florida's cupcake.
I don't know, man. Florida always does this weird sleepwalky thing in Nashville. It feels like they go to like the pedal bars and all the bachelorette parties the night before, and they seem to struggle in Nashville. I just want to have to say this again because I didn't say it last podcast, but I did put it in the synopsis that I wrote. The vaunted Vandy offense had 447 yards against Kentucky. Do you think?
What the fuck are you doing? What was that?
Do you think Florida's defense is as good as Kentucky's?
Oh
No.
God, my stomach just dropped thinking about the answer to that question.
I don't know. They looked okay against South Carolina, and they I don't know. They've been all over the place. I don't know.
Ugh. Well, let's talk about some games that are more our speed. UNLV at Hawaii. This is not an 11 p.m. game central. This is a 10 p.m. game central. It's on the Team One app and on Spectrum if you're on the islands. This is a game that is chill and chiller. UNLV going to the islands, enjoying the vibe.
It's just ultimate vibes. Yeah, I was reading this earlier and I was like, God, I want to go to that game and just chill with everybody.
Yeah.
I want to go pull the slot machine when they have the turnover. I want to hang with Hawaii, who seems to be okay with a new coach now. They're getting. I mean, it's going to take some time, whatever. But yeah. I don't know.
Everyone seems to be having fun over there, at least.
Yes. UNLV is going to fly out there at least 3 or 4 days early, acclimate to the time zone. God, So great.
I don't know why more teams like Vandy was smart this year opening in Hawaii. Like that was
They
a really
were.
smart thing.
Yep.
Oh, we got to fly out to Hawaii. I guess we'll leave a little early to catch something. Oh, got my airline miles. Oh, I guess
Hmm.
get the upgrades. Perfect.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Why would you not do that? More Mountain West action. San Jose State at Utah State. 8:45 on Fox Sports 1. This is the middle of the Pac Mountain West Challenge. San Jose State was on the up and up, and then they sort of just cratered after a bit. Utah State's been, well, they're not the worst Aggies in FBS. We've covered that before.
we need an update. We haven't had our Aggie update yet this
No,
week.
we
We
don't.
got to get that
I need
working.
to I need to get that up. So
Oh, I love the Aggie update.
at this point, the Aggies are just like, A&M Aggies are just like, you can't hurt me anymore. Whatever. I hate myself more than you could ever hate me. I don't fucking care anymore.
I
This is great.
really want like A&M. I want to be at Midnight Yell, and I really want them to have at least a clam chowder joke in there.
Yeah. What kind of jokes do you tell about a villain, a skill that you've never played before? Because the whole point of the Midnight Yell is that you use the same jokes that they've fucking used for the last 50 years. You tell jokes about, UMass, that they're a bunch of Yankees. Like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's not funny.
And yeah, in the age of social media, it's like, ooh.
All I can think about is, once again, man, fucking King of the Hill in this podcast. Always go back to King of the Hill. The very first episode where Thatherton comes in, when he's voiced by Burt Reynolds, they bring
R.I.P.
in a customer from Boston, and he wants to do the Texas thing, and he wants the cowboy hat, he wants the Cadillac with the horns on the front. And Hank is very much not that kind of guy. He has chubby feet like I do. He can't wear boots comfortably. Like he doesn't wear cowboy hats. He's Texan, but not that kind of Texan. And there's just this moment. I forget what they're talking about. There's a moment where the guy from Boston, because Hank's talking about LBJ, and the guy from Boston deadpans like LBJ killed Kennedy, and I fucking die laughing every time. And that's what this feels like. It's gonna be like jokes about assassinating Kennedy. And I'm not sure what else. Like that
So
feels about
good.
the level of joke we're gonna get for this Midnight Yell.
I mean, I
Oh,
really wish they could, had some updated jokes or something of that nature. Maybe they can work in some Missy Elliott. They don't need no 1 Minute Man.
Oh yeah,
But
that's what the guys in charge of Midnight Yell are gonna do. They're gonna work in
That's right.
Missy Elliott references. What the fuck
That's
are you
right.
talking about?
That's right, Missy Elliott. That's what the the Yell leaders listen to.
God, they're gonna okay. They're more likely to smash a watermelon in remembrance of Gallagher. Okay.
Oh my god!
I have a quick question. Why the Yell leaders? Why are their overalls so tight? Like they seem aggressively tight, right?
It's just the thing, and they do like the
Okay.
grabbing. You grab your hips and you laugh from your stomach, and you do the bending over thing. I don't know,
Okay.
but then again, like I was in a fraternity, like we did weird shit too. We had, we talked about all of our symbols and then what is your motto? What is our motto in Greek and the secret handshake? Whatever. Like it's all weird shit.
Interesting. Interesting.
Guys like doing things like this. This is a very guy thing. This is not something that women would not do of their own volition. I'm 99% sure. Because women would look at this and be like, no, this is fucking stupid.
No, we would like evolve over time and like change
Yeah.
it. Whereas guys are like, no, this is what we do. This is what we do, man. We're doing it because this is what we do. Guys being dudes. That's
Yep.
what it is. It's guys
Mhm.
being dudes. Yeah.
Guys being dudes in real tight pants. Boise State at Wyoming, 6 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. Boise leads the series 15-1 all time. Jesus.
Mm.
I did not
Mm.
know that the Wyoming safety dance gif is from the one Boise win. Sorry, from
Yeah.
the one Wyoming win over Boise.
That's it. The safety dance where he does like the thing and he's just
Wiggle,
like
a little
the
wiggle, yeah.
famous, the famous wiggle. Yeah, that was the only game they've ever beat Boise, and that was the one to win it over Boise. That's how they won it. They won it with the safety. It was like 1:25 left. They won it with the safety, and that was the only time they did it. That was in 2016. They won 30-28. It was tied 28-28, and they got the safety to win. I mean, this feels like this should be like a closer rivalry game, but they've only played 16 times, and
Because Boise State hasn't been playing
not that long. No,
like they're the ones that haven't been like we've covered last week. Wyoming's been playing football since the fucking 1890s. It's not
Cowboys love it.
It's Boise it's the new kid on the block.
Okay, wait. So who's favored to win this game? Is Boise State or
I'm
is
gonna
Boise State
guess
favored?
Boise's very favored. Let me double check on that.
Okay. If
Boise-
Wyoming wins, I'm buying the Wyoming collection on home field. Sorry, not to bring up home field again. It's really good. If Wyoming
is.
wins, I might buy one of their shirts because it's so pretty.
They definitely make that brown yellow combo look very good.
It's so good.
Which is
Yeah.
saying something because that doesn't look good on anyone, really.
Guys, I have a thing for the cowboy mascots because I also have a Pistol Patty shirt and I love it. An Oklahoma State Pistol Patty shirt. It's amazing.
Let me see what Parker's steps that was for. Oh, hey, Cal's supposed to win against Stanford. Okay. Western Kentucky, Auburn, by the way. Auburn, 52%. Western Kentucky, 47%. Okay.
Oh,
so
is that a coin flip?
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is.
Ring, ring.
No, will you please leave that in and not put the actual sound in? I want that instead.
I'll do that. It just gets jankier and jankier as it goes. Ring.
It's so good.
The line is Wyoming plus 14. So that's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Once Boise figured out their thing, they look so much better. That UTEP game was an aberration. It was a great game, a great aberration. We had fun with that. I will say that the weeknight schedule minus MAC is not great this week, except for this one game. SMU at Tulane, Thursday at 6:30. Tulane is going to avenge their shit, and they are going to wring SMU's neck.
No, don't say that. No, I like Tulane fan of me. Like SMU just like breaks Tulane's heart in like the last minute almost every year. It just seems that way. I hope it's different this year, but I hope the Angry Wave get back on track. If they can play from ahead, which it seemed like they could just never catch UCF after like the opening touchdown, and they just could not keep up and play the game they wanted to do that. I feel like if they can get some pressure on the SMU's quarterback, which they may be able to, and they can corral the passing game a little bit and, maybe control the game a little bit better, I feel like Tulane has a better shot. But it's a Thursday night game. It's going to be wild and weird. And
how many weeknight games has SMU played this year?
I feel like that's all
I feel like it's always SMU's played this year. Now I gotta hold on. I gotta actually look this up because this is gonna bug me. Because I swear to God, they have done nothing but play. Let's see here. That is 1, 2. Okay, it's only 2. Never mind. It was two back to back.
It feels okay. So 2 in a row.
They played UCF on a Wednesday, and played Navy the next Friday. That felt weird. Okay, that makes more sense.
Well, the SMU and Houston game felt like it was a Thursday, but it was a Saturday, right?
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Okay.
So this is actually their third weeknight game then, though, right?
Yeah, right.
That's still a lot. It feels like
a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. Kamish, the more like we've talked about college football, the more we've talked on this podcast, I've definitely started to feel games that you are like attracted to that are different than mine. And Houston and East Carolina, 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus, just seems like a game that is like right down your alley.
Oh God, yeah. Give me that game right now. I want it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but oh my God, give me that game. Like, I mean, it's the one that's at like 1 p.m. It's a weird kickoff time. It's that one that gets lost. Like the one that gets lost in the shuffle of like the normal kickoff times at like 11 Central, some are at 12 Central. This one's at like 1 Central, which makes no sense. 2 Eastern, Chicken Sedan, 2 Eastern, because it's in North Carolina. I hope you're happy now.
But don't try to find this on your TV though.
No,
this is only on ESPN Plus.
It's only on ESPN Plus for some reason. But this one, no, this is mine. I am watching this one. The way East Carolina played against Cincy, the way Houston plays all year, like, has there been a normal Houston game this year? Yeah. None. I mean, no. I mean, I think the only one was like Kansas blowing them out, but that was kind of sickos in the beginning of the year because you didn't see that coming. But no, Houston is just like automatic sickos viewing for me personally.
Look, and man, when you hire Dana Holgerson as your coach, you don't want normal football.
No,
you've made a choice. You've decided that you're okay with pants on fire, Red Bulled up dad coming in going, fuck it, we're just gonna run for 400 yards. Fuck it. Someone get me the Mountain Dew.
I love him so much.
So his 3 carafes are Mountain Dew Code Red, and Red Bull, right? That's his 3 carafes on the sideline.
Yeah, there might be one of moonshine actually too. 4.
Yep. No, moonshine is mixed in with all 3 of them.
Yeah, and then actually there's a carafe of cigarette butts just sitting.
No, it's a bottle for dip. It's his dip jar.
Yes. Jeez.
Is he more
Dave is packing a lip and he's just putting in Sprite bottles. He just has a row of Sprite bottles. At one
Oh,
point,
it's
at one
so
point in college,
gross.
my
So
friends who were
gross.
all like very New England prep school kids decided they were going to start dipping.
It's
Oh,
so
Like that
gross.
was like the thing that was their habit they picked up.
My
And
like my dad used to do. It's so gross. Oh.
you've never seen a more filthy fraternity house
Mhm.
that had like 4 guys dipping nonstop as well.
Mhm.
You had to be careful for anything drink you put down because
yeah.
those fuckers would just like spit in everything.
It's a dip. It's as soon as you leave a drink, it's a. I went to school in Monroe. This is
I went to
guaranteed.
school in New Hampshire. That's not supposed to happen. We smoked clove cigarettes. We were cool. Another AAC game. South Florida at Tulsa, Friday. This is the early game on Friday. It kicks at 8 p.m. Central.
Jeez, that's early. I mean,
That's
late. Sorry. What's the late game on Friday? Oh, we've probably already covered it.
No, I
That's
don't think we
crazy.
did yet.
no. That's
The
yeah.
other game is 8:45. San Diego State at New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. All right.
That's a weird Friday schedule.
That's
It
a weird
is.
Friday. That's a Sickos Friday slate. Like both of these games. I mean, San Diego State did get bowl eligible. So yeah, this slate like South Florida at Tulsa. I know South Florida let their coach go about a week ago, not a year. Jesus.
Felt like it should have been. Felt like it should have been. Ask our USF friends, and they will tell you it should have been a year ago.
May I share a dream that I have for USF and a
Do
dream
it.
that I have for
Oh.
college football? I would like for USF to hire Gronk. I know that's not going to happen, but Gronk as a college football coach would just entertain me to no end. And maybe in Tampa right now. I don't know. Anyways, I would like for them to hire Gronk instead of
Also,
John Gruden. Gross.
yeah,
Gross
that's
John Gruden.
what they want.
I know. Gross.
For all of you guys, by the way, who are asking us to say something about Charlotte's hire, we're still trying to figure out what the fuck we're thinking about Charlotte's hire. The
Who did they
investment,
hire?
someone who was a non like a personal assistant to Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He was a millionaire investor. He created like this big Pennsylvania high school football powerhouse.
In the 1980s, he was like an investment millionaire. So he's basically like the guy from Wall Street,
Gordon Gekko, yeah.
Gordon Gekko, and his name is Biff Poggi.
This feels very Formula One, like paying
Or is
to
it-
do like
or is it-
this is no.
Is it Biff Poggi?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Biff.
So the
This is his
person
first
who
name is
said
Biff.
the person who said it sounded like a star, like a third tier Star Wars character is correct. Like, oh, we have to go see Biff Poggi over on Dantooine. Oh yeah, he runs the cantina there.
Biff Poggi. Wow. I mean,
He doesn't have a Wikipedia page,
yeah, this is not good.
so I don't have an opinion yet. Some people who are Michigan fans are saying that this is a great hire because he brought in a lot of the stuff that turned Michigan around.
But does he have coaching experience? Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. So we're still working on that. I don't have an opinion yet, and I don't want to say something once. I don't want to say something stupid and jump in it and end up in a fight with our Michigan fans because I like y'all, and I don't know what this is going to be. For my favorite part of the week, ACC slander time. First off, we're going to have at least one game on regional network. Florida State, you're playing the Raging Cajuns.
Okay, what is the regional network though? Because my Yahoo app is telling me it's RSN. What does that mean?
That is either Bally Sports local or let me see what it is for.
I'm
Florida.
just gonna say it's Raycom Sports Network. No, I'm just no, it's not Raycom, but
I wish it was.
I don't even know if that's still around, but yeah,
Let's
it feels like it's
ACC
that's how worthy.
regional.
What's the one from Succession, Raystar? What's that? What's the name of the network there? That's what it is.
Probably right. At
Let's
least
see
it's
here.
not on
Since-
Flow
since-
Sports.
Since you are in stream, it's gonna be on wherever you get Bally Sports.
Okay,
I'm not going to be able to watch that. That's fine though. That's
you may
fine.
have
So,
it.
yeah.
You may have it unexpectedly.
I'm
You may
gonna
have
be
it.
in New Orleans, so maybe I'll figure it out when I'm in New Orleans.
There you go.
There's a Bally Sports Southeast in New Orleans.
Okay.
I will
if I
say-
can drag my mom and everyone else there, I probably won't be able to.
The
It's
ACC network decided they'd rather show Duke at Pitt instead of the Raging Cajuns at Florida State.
fine. I mean, there could be some fireworks there. Let's be honest. There could be some fireworks.
I will say that the ACC network this week actually has a reasonable schedule. They are playing 1, 2, 3 actual football games, and all of these are pretty good choices. At 7 a.m., they are showing a replay of last year's Wake Forest versus Syracuse game for whatever reason.
Interesting.
But sure, why not? But ACC Network is showing Duke at Pitt, North Carolina State at Louisville, and Syracuse at Wake. So those are all pretty good games. Let's start with North Carolina State at Louisville. North Carolina State coming off that baffling fucking loss to Boston College, and Louisville, a poor man trying to get fired through his own incompetence and failing. So I don't know what happens here.
I mean, yeah.
I honestly, again, I don't know. It's like one of those where you think like Louisville will probably win, or does NC State play better on the road after they just had their classic NC State seasonal letdown, like the one they do every year for some odd reason? It's one of those where I can't look away.
Yeah, this one you have to sort of be glued to.
Yes, you're just like, what? Okay, it'll be on the quad box.
Duke at Pitt, 11 a.m. ACC Network. This should be a really good game.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be interesting. I agree.
I am actually curious on what happens here. Like, Duke is extremely well coached, extremely disciplined, and they don't hurt themselves. You know, Pat Narduzzi is Pat Narduzzi. I'll just say that. There's really not much more to say. I don't know what's going to happen, and I am extremely curious here.
Hey guys, what if Boston College beats Notre Dame?
Okay, I've stormed the field at Notre Dame. I can't pull for that now.
Oh,
I'm in their cult now.
Come on, God bless.
Katie's a cop.
Boo.
Boo.
She's an undercover cop.
I used to take pictures of Notre Dame fans in the wild when I would see them and send them to like tag Spencer and them on Twitter. But now, like, I've been there, guys. I kind of want them to have a good season. Anyways,
I mean, how did they buy you off? Was it at the bar?
Because I got to storm the field. It was so fun.
So what if Boston College wins? I'm going to reframe this again.
Okay.
But then what if Boston College win? That's my reframing. That's all I got.
I mean, honestly, I didn't expect them to win last week against NC State.
Yeah.
But Boston College is that weird like bogey team for Notre Dame. Like when Notre Dame is kind of feeling good about themselves, like Boston College comes out of nowhere and like bites them. You know, Boston College has had the backup quarterback that nearly threw for 300 yards last week against NC State. I'm sorry, it'd be really funny if they beat Notre Dame. It'd be really funny.
So Boston College is the ex-girlfriend that sends me a Facebook message out of the blue being like, hey, how's it going? I think I'm doing okay. And then I realize I'm really not. Can I interest you in Syracuse at Wake? Can Syracuse stop the skid?
I mean, hopefully. I don't know. I don't know how I feel here emotionally. I like them both.
I think Syracuse is going to have the 6-0 to 6-6 season.
Ooh, what was that? The Baylor coach that did that? Was that Jim Grobe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it feels. Who did they play in the last game of the year?
Boston College.
Oh no, I think they
feeling 7-5ish now. I'm feeling 7-5.
I don't think they get Wake. I feel Wake is slightly, maybe like a weight class slightly higher than them. And then they're banged up, so I feel Wake wins this one.
Okay.
I feel that for sure. And then, you know, really just not too sure if Q's is got enough juice lately, but if they can get the running game going against Wake, maybe.
Katie, how are you feeling about Miami at Clemson?
Oh, go Clemson. I don't really love either team. Actually, when we were at the Notre Dame Clemson game, I told a man, the linebacker and an older gentleman who was a Clemson fan, that I wasn't going to pull for Clemson until Dabe wasn't there anymore, and he did not know what to say to me. It was not good. It was very not good. Yeah, I mean, I think I pull for Clemson there. I just feel bad for Miami right now, and that's not normal for me, but I'd like for them to be good again.
Wow, that's what Miami goes for, is pity from a Florida State fan. Miami fans are absolutely just they're ready to jump off their condos right now.
They're coming to get you, Katie.
Probably are.
If I gave you an over under Miami points at 14.5, what do you take?
The over under on just Miami's points?
Just Miami points 14.5.
14.5.
Under.
Kamish?
Whew. All right, so my Miami predictions have been wrong, right? Like way wrong.
Way wrong.
Okay, so I had them losing to Georgia Tech by a field goal. I had them beating Florida State. If every instinct I have is wrong, the opposite must be right.
Okay.
Sure.
That was a Seinfeld reference. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, nobody gets that, of course, because
it's a deep cut.
Not really. To me personally, I've watched Seinfeld way too much in my life. So my instinct was to say that Miami gets 17. So I'm gonna say it's under.
Wait. Okay. So you're saying it's okay. Got it.
I gotta go with
Yeah,
the opposite. Yeah.
I think
So
it's under. Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at similar games that Miami has played real fast, okay? Miami scored 3 against Florida State. They scored 14 against Virginia. They scored 21 against Duke, 20 against Virginia Tech, 24 against North Carolina. I'm gonna take the over.
Oh wow.
I feel like
Okay.
they go over 14 and a half. I think they get 17. That feels correct to me. So guys, can we get UConn to 7 wins? They gotta be Army.
Yes. I'm hoping we
A
can.
not great Army team. This is going to be in West Point, 11 a.m. That means it's going to be kind of foggy at West Point. It's going to be cold. Can UConn get to 7 wins?
UConn needs to get to 7 wins, honestly, to not get 6-6 and left out. I mean, the probability it's like 60% Army, 40% UConn. But I mean, the last week, I mean, whoever they played last week, which that nameless school that UConn beat last week, definitely had the probability a little bit different in this situation. So
way higher.
Way higher. I gotta believe in the revolution. I really gotta do it. I don't feel like Army is that great, but it's weird that I'm picking a revolution over the troops.
Let's say that seems un-American.
It does. It's the Husky Revolution.
I'm going to tell you the 3 teams that Army has beat this year, and you're going to tell me what their best win was. Is it Villanova, Colgate, or ULM?
It has to be ULM. So I mean, even though they were
not 7th ranked FCS Villanova.
No, I gotta give Terry Broughton some sort of credit at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
A Villanova team that has wins over LIU and Lehigh and Maine. By the way, Villanova is no longer ranked, and they're on a 2-game slide right now. They will not be making the playoffs this year.
That's right. So yeah, so that's Army. Army's wins are just those.
They're
4-6. Are they 3?
They're 3 and 7, I believe.
Okay, we come on, Husky Revolution. Let's do this. Let's leave no doubt. Let's not leave this to the selection committee of bowl season. Let's leave no doubt. Let's get the 7th win. Let's do it.
Army plays at UMass the next week, and then versus Navy to finish the season.
UMass, who's going to have a transitive win over Georgia soon. Can't wait.
Some more Pac-12 fun. Oregon State at Arizona State, 1:15 on ESPN2, which would be 11:15 local kick without daylight savings. I think so. Yeah. Kamish, what did you want to say about Oregon State and Arizona State?
The beavers in the desert.
Why? Like, what? Is this an evocative phrase for you?
Is this podcast after dark now? Is that what we've done?
Yes. It's very late. I just wanted to say that. All right. I mean, maybe I tapped into middle school, Commissioner.
Look, we had lots of gooch talk last time. Okay.
All right. So I mean, again, the Beavers in the desert. The Beavers are ranked 24th in the college football playoff. They're ranked 25th in the AP. I am a Beaver believer here. Let's keep it going.
A believer.
Beaver? No.
No, it would just be a believer. Yeah, if you were a believer and a beaver, you just be a believer. Okay, that doesn't work. Never mind.
No,
but that's
not as fun.
The home field shirt that I have. The home field shirt that I have, it says I'm a Beaver believer. So
the old Oregon State drawn mascots is the horniest one of them all.
Oh, I need to look this up.
Yeah, here we go. Found it. I will post it to the Discord real fast. This is by far the horniest one.
Oh, mercy. Wow. Okay.
Like that beaver is just down to fuck. and his lady friend is very receptive to the idea.
I kind of would like for home field to put that on a shirt. The two of them together.
Every time, because there's lots of mascots that have these two similar characters, and they always look super horny. I think Northwestern has one too. And the cat just looks super, super horny. It's weird.
This is like when Mike Golick Jr. this week that tweeted about the married mascots cheating on each other.
Yeah, it became a whole thing because I jumped in because I found a bunch of stuff of Wilma Wildcat sending lots of like horny tweets to other mascots.
Pistol Patty and Pistol Pete. I'm telling you, Pistol Pete has had his boots under someone else's bed. You know he has.
I found out tonight that Roxy the Rockette from Toledo is not married to Rocky the Rocket. They're not brother and sister. They are quote unquote just friends.
Friends with
I
benefits.
wonder if
I'm
she
sure.
knew that. I wonder if she knew that.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, this seems. I wish her well. I hope she was. I hope she values herself. I'd like to talk to her.
Does anyone have any feelings about Florida Atlantic at Mitsu?
Florida domestic at Metsu? No,
No,
wait.
that,
Florida
that
domestic is UF. Never mind.
Although we found out there is a Florida National University
yes, we
because
did.
they played Florida International University in basketball.
I did not know that.
The one thing I wanted to mention about Florida Atlantic and Mitsu, it's a bowl eligibility game.
Oh,
So
okay.
so both are 5-5. Whoever wins this is bowl eligible. That's the reason I had it on the list. I didn't have time to type out. They are both 5-5.
I just had I had no clue.
I was like, why did Commissioner put this on the list? I'm like, whoever wins is bowl eligible. That's basically
Okay,
it.
that's good. FIU at UTEP. This is the Bowl Bound Express's last stand. They need 2 more. One of them is this one, which they can probably win. The other one is UTSA on the road in the Alamo Dome for the last game of the season, which I don't think they win. But the UTEP Bowl Bound Express still lives and still rides on slightly a little longer. UTSA at Rice. This is also one that Rice needs to be bowl eligible, I believe.
Yep, they're still 5-5.
So they need 1 more out of the next 2. That would be UTSA going to Houston to play Rice, and then the last game is Rice at North Texas, which North Texas being as like they are this year, I don't know that that's going to be as good of a game for them.
I just wanted to point out that Akron plays at Buffalo. So for some odd reason, there's no action for Akron and Buffalo. It's on like a Saturday. I don't get it.
But Saturday is that when the snow is supposed to blow in Buffalo?
Yes.
Like the 2 feet of snow?
Yep. So that's the reason that it's on here. Besides that, it's not a part of action. So basically, the entire MAC conference, like they have Eastern Michigan at Kent State, Miami at Northern Illinois, Western Michigan at Central Michigan, coming up on Wednesday, which we're recording this on Tuesday night. The only MAC game that is not on Tuesday and Wednesday is Akron at Buffalo, which is supposed to get 2 to 3 feet of snow. So just keep an eye out for that one. And I'm a sucker for snow games. If they even get to play this one, we'll see. But I am a sucker for snow games. I will watch it no matter the score. I'll watch the whole game.
Illinois at Michigan. This like I would have had a lot more excitement about this game if it hadn't been for last week. I feel like this game is soured on me. Although
I'm still excited.
Although I feel like this could be a big chance for the Illini to make a statement and ruin Michigan's shit. On that,
Yep.
we need K-State to beat West Virginia. Sorry, we need West Virginia to beat K-State for our all Big 12 dreams to come true again. This is K-State going to West Virginia. So Morgantown, they are significantly better in Morgantown.
They are.
So we are hoping for, I think, for at least I am, a West Virginia win here.
Oh yeah, go Mountaineers.
Marshall at Georgia Southern. This should be just a good game.
It should be a good game. I want to see Van Treese to see if he can get back into the Detmer top 15. He's at 16th. We need Mr. Van Treese to get some more touchdowns, yards, and interceptions. Marshall seems to have bounced back a little bit. They've played a lot better. I know they had their lull. They lost to now bowl-bound Bowling Green. They had a little bit of a lull, but Marshall's gotten a little bit better. And I believe that Marshall is bowl eligible. They are. But Georgia Southern, Clay Helton's Georgia Southern needs a win for bowl eligibility here.
Marshall's problem is they front-loaded their season with easy teams. You can't just play baby teams like Notre Dame to start the season out and expect to have a good season. You got to play harder teams, guys.
That's right. Marshall and Georgia Southern coin flip game. Really, like 51.
Bling!
Bling, 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 bling.
Was that a phone? I did an old phone. The idea, by the way, someone put out of having a rotary phone on the sideline.
Yes.
Made me laugh. Like
As like a turnover phone?
No. Like, you know how, because they use corded phones to call up and it looks weird because you just don't see corded phones anymore. The idea of one of them being rotary, I can't imagine like a really fucking angry coach having to like single dial digits on a rotary phone.
Yep. I love it.
You can't angry dial a rotary phone.
I just made the observation when I saw like the picture of Quinn Ewers on the sidelines like on the phone, and I'm like, okay, he's on like a phone that's like actually has a cord. Where do you see these anymore? And it's weird because like nobody sees this anymore with like corded phones, but it wouldn't make sense to have a cell phone on the sideline. I was thinking maybe you get one of those like old VTech phones
Oh
where,
yeah.
yeah, like the cordless, like the clear color that everybody had.
So we need a Monroe miracle.
Yeah, we need it. ULM still mathematically alive for a bowl at 4-6. They go to Sun Belt West leading Troy. We need a win here. ULM put out this graphic this week. It says like after Terry Bowden they defeated Georgia State last week. There was a graphic. It says the winningest family in NCAA Division One football history. It's a graphic of Bobby Bowden with 377 wins. It's a graphic of Terry Bowden with I believe 183 wins. Is that what I see?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
You
There's
you
a bad.
Miami Knighted this fucking graphic. I can't read it anymore.
Okay, it does look like 183. I
I just found the Photoshop filters and we're all fucked now.
So if you get some
You
weird
started this with the beveling, though. That's all
He
I'm
did.
saying.
you wanted to, and
I
then
learned it from watching you, Dad.
You gave him license. That's all I'm saying.
The best was, did you see what Jason Kirk put out with this graphic?
No.
No.
Wait, hold on. I do have a question because I just saw this. Like, is ULM the first one that put this out?
Yes.
Yes.
Or did like all of this is so interesting. Okay, continue.
And so Jason put out this same thing, but in the corner put a little picture of Jeff Bowden. A little picture of Jeff Bowden.
Oh my God.
I have the worst PTSD because when I was at Florida State from 2001 to 2005, and 2000 was Mark Rick's last year, and yeah, we won a national championship in 1999 and played for it in 2000, and then in 2001 I started, and we had Chris Ricks as our quarterback, and we had Jeff Bowden as our offensive coordinator, and mercy.
Tommy was the other one that was on the graphic, which is weird that it's kind of weird that they have Bobby standing like the tallest, and then there's Terry in the middle, and then like Tommy is squatting
At half mast. He's at half mast.
with like 90 wins. So I mean, it's like Terry's like looking down at Tommy, which I feel like that's like a sibling rivalry there that we don't know about.
Oh, you can imagine, man, that's a hostile fucking Thanksgiving. Do you know what Terry Bowden did after Akron but before Louisiana Monroe?
Please tell me it's XFL or CFL or something like that.
I do know.
Hockey team?
I didn't
I
know
know.
this. What
You
was
didn't
it?
know?
Soccer coach Ted Lasso.
He was a graduate assistant with Clemson.
He was a GA at Clemson.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
So
He was getting his graduate degree.
there was a story where he went to Dabo and tried to get a job with Dabo, and Dabo was like, hey, I don't have any positions open. The only thing that I have open is our GAs, graduate assistant. So Terry went to get his master's at Clemson just so he could be a GA underneath that to try to get back and get one last coaching gig. So yeah, I guess ULM's the last coaching gig. I've heard rumors that Terry, like whenever he's done coaching, he's going to be the athletic director of ULM, which is
Hey, cool.
strange.
You do you, man. You do you,
I
man.
think he'd be an okay athletic director. I actually think he'd be an okay athletic director.
We also have South Alabama at Southern Miss. Another good Sun Belt. By the way, the Sun Belt circle made me very happy. Apparently, even though it was possible last week, I'm just catching up on my circles.
Yeah,
Apologies for that. But
we were
yeah.
a little behind on the circles. Apparently it closed, but that's fine. The one thing I want to mention about South Alabama and Southern Miss needs this for bowl eligibility. By any chance that ULM beats Troy and Southern Miss loses to South Alabama, the final game is ULM versus Southern Miss, and that's personal for the commish.
Yeah.
So,
Oh God.
Me going to ULM, my sister is a Southern Miss alum, so that will be in Monroe. I kind of want that personally. I want that, like both of us, for bowl eligibility, and then that'll be some family bragging rights there. So ULM, please pull this off and beat Troy. I don't know why. And then South Alabama, you could beat Southern Miss. That's fine. And then bowl eligibility Sun Belt battle. South Alabama will take control of the West. If that happens, it should be fun Sun Belt action.
So tell me about the weird ticket thing, because I was offline for barter tickets. I was teaching, and then all of a sudden I come back and we're looking at $9,000 tickets to A&M games for some reason.
Living in San Antonio, I was like, let's see what type of game I can go this weekend. I wanted to take, the family to go see, a football game. The weather's going to be, like maybe like low 60s, mid 50s, like perfect football weather. And so I tried to check some games around, and Texas State's in San Marcos, which is not too far away from San Antonio. And I wanted to see how much tickets were for the game. So like it's Arkansas State versus Texas State, both 3-7. I'm like, this is perfect, like, Sickos adjacent game. And really I was like, no, I don't think many people will be here. So I'm searching for tickets for the game, and I just wanted to see how much it was. The cheapest tickets I could find were like $11 on like Vivid seats,
Yeah.
and it was like $11 fee. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like it's double the price. So I'm like, it's like with fees $11, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so then I tried to go through the website for the Texas State, and it was like $20, and then the fees were like $10, and I'm like, what? Okay, so we may still go, but it's just like I was just getting kind of. I was just like, really? What's going on? And then
Yeah.
for some odd reason, I accidentally scrolled down too far to see what the highest ticket price was for this game. And then that led me on the ticket adventure on the on the Twitter account today, because it was just absolutely ridiculous. Being upset at the prices, I was like, what is going on? I spotted that there's 4 tickets at the Texas State game for Arkansas State. Both teams 3-7. Both
Mm-hmm.
teams eliminated from bowl eligibility. They're selling like a ticket each $446 on like the lower level sideline for,
And
on
not even front row. It's row 19?
it's row
No.
19. And it's just like, it's not even the 50-yard line. Basically, you're probably at like the 30, 35-yard line. I don't know what's going on here. So then my curiosity, I started to look at other games. I'm like, this has got to be something wrong. There's no way. So I started looking at like games that are like kind of within, I guess, some sort of reasonable driving distance
Gotcha.
of San Antonio. So I go to the UMass at A&M game,
Mm-hmm.
and I start searching, and I was like, there's really nothing affordable there whatsoever either. And I'm like, that's a longer drive, not necessarily there. And then, just being curious again, I wanted to see the most expensive ticket, what they had in the stadium.
Yeah.
So, like, the Prime Westfield box was about $559 each. I'm like, okay. But there was an entry below in the upper deck, like the south end zone, like the highest level, like row 14. It was there for $9,399.
You know what
What?
this is, right? You guys know what this is.
It's money laundering?
No, this is how they're going to fund Jimbo's buyout.
See, that was,
Reselling tickets at ungodly amounts, and that's how they're going to get to 85 million. It's my
Good
theory.
God.
so that was a theory. The other one was money laundering, and me being in a financial
Yeah, that's
industry
fair.
in my real job,
Yeah.
me being in a financial industry, formerly working at a bank, notice that it's right below the $10,000 threshold.
Mhm.
Oh,
Which
It
yeah.
kind of
is.
like,
Yeah, you're right.
but other people were like, hey, if you do resale tickets commonly, this is typically like you just put a crazy number out there for like just to hold a spot that you're going to sell it, and then you can edit it
Gotcha.
later. But they haven't edited it. It's the game week. So I wonder if they forgot about it. Like, whatever. So it was just weird to see that. So I got curious like further. I was like, because I didn't know those details, I went to the LSU at A&M game the week
Mm-hmm.
after. The highest price ticket was $1,680 in the Prime Club, which was absolutely okay. I mean, like, LSU A&M SEC game, you're in a suite. That's great. The UMass Texas A&M game continues to throw me off. Whatever explanation it is, it's still just ridiculous that you would put those tickets up there for that price. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you really could have probably put them up for like 1,000 and nobody would touched it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or the 559 for that, nobody was going to touch it. You did not need to put it in unless you want.
Do you and I bet 9,399 is so specific. I bet that with fees, it's 9,999, just below the mark. Like that
Yeah,
would
just
have to
below
be
the
it.
10. Yeah, that could be it, honestly. that's weird. And then I looked at the LSU versus Georgia SEC championship just for comparison,
Mhm.
because I needed to find tickets that were more expensive than
Yeah, yeah,
$9,399.
yeah, of course.
So there were some lower seats in the Mercedes Benz, uh, whatever dome that they in Atlanta. There were some low level seats. There wasn't many. There was only like 6 entries. It was $10,620, 11,837, 12,581, and then there was 3 sets of mezzanine level for $15,145 for the SEC championship game. So I was just trying to find something that was higher than this random UMass at A&M ticket. I couldn't even get off. It's so ridiculous.
I want to share with you guys a couple of the FCS games this week that are their big rivalry games, because this is, like I said, the last FCS week for regular season for most of the teams. So let's start with game day. The Brawl of the Wild is Montana versus Montana State. This one's in Bozeman. The weather in Bozeman is supposed to be absolutely gnarly. Let me see what it looks like right now.
I saw that it was going to be colder in Minneapolis than it would be in Bozeman.
Actually, I'm looking at it. They said Bozeman, it might be up to 28.
Okay.
So
And then the
that's
lows, yeah. So the high in Minneapolis is going to be lower than what it is in Montana. So hopefully it's not too crazy cold for the game day folks. But again, I am
well. So
super
so
excited to watch this.
so I will say though that for Saturday morning, it's going to be at 2 degrees.
Woo-hoo!
Reese and Kirk, bundle up. Bear, I hope they give you a good coat.
I
I need to see Bear in like 4 coats.
Bear's gonna be fine. He's gonna be in one of those coats with like the fur lined hoodie. I can imagine that right there.
He's gonna look like the TCU frog on Katie's shirt. He's gonna have a
That's
fur
right.
coat on.
He's gonna have a fur
That's
coat on.
Bear. Bear in
That's
his fur
Bear.
coat. Wait, I just
Did
lost
we lose?
everyone.
We lost Katie, or you lost me?
No, I got you,
Okay.
Katie.
I don't. Katie's missing. Oh no.
I hit mute. Sorry.
Okay,
She made a mistake.
okay, good.
I hit mute when I was talking about Joe Namath and the fur. Do y'all remember Joe Namath and the fur coat?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
oh
please,
yeah.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
We're old.
I
We
want to
got
do that one year for Halloween. I'm going to dress up as Joe Namath in the fur coat.
So this is the 121st meeting of the Brawl of the Wild. Montana leads the series 73-41-5, and they play for the Great Divide Trophy. If you guys will look in the Google Doc, you can see this thing.
Oh, that's huge.
It's big. It's at least 3 feet tall. I can't find a weight. I'm waiting for that. But I want to read this little thing about it. Beginning in 2001, the team started playing for the Great Divide Trophy. The trophy was created to resemble Bear Mountain, which can be seen off in the distance. The mountain sits on the Continental Divide, the heart and soul of Montana. The victorious team displays the trophy in their campus the following year. The Bobcats and Grizzlies will battle for this throughout the century. The team with the most wins during the 21st century will keep the trophy permanently following the 2100 game. So this is planned to go through the year 2100, and then they will keep the trophy.
Woo.
That's planning. I don't think who knows if college football will exist in 100 years. Who knows? Like that is such an insane level of planning. But again, these teams have played for 120 already, so
It
I mean,
looks
it makes sense that it's just going to be there again.
honestly, it just from how they're carrying it, it looks like there's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 players trying to carry this trophy. We need to get the weight, because I mean our current one that we have a technical weight is the Golden Boot at 200 pounds. I feel like this could challenge it.
No,
I feel
no, no,
like
no,
this
no.
is
I
heavier.
don't like it. It's the cannon. The Fremont Cannon's the real heavy boy.
Okay, but
It depends if you want to call that a trophy or not.
can we define it as something that they carry on the field? Because nobody's carrying the Fremont Cannon.
They carry the Purdue Cannon.
Well, yes, of course, but
Is that the little one?
Look at my little
Yeah.
cannon. Oh, look at my little cannon.
it is perfectly normal sized cannon. That's
Pew, pew,
what they say.
pew. Pew, pew,
It's
pew.
like a handgun. It's not a cannon. It's a handgun.
No, I've seen bigger
amazing.
handguns.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I've seen revolvers bigger than that.
I was going to say, you do live in Texas, so yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably saw
unfortunately,
someone walking around with one. Yeah, I can't find the weight. Once I get the weight, I will update everyone. We also have the rivalry, the oldest one in college football, Lehigh Lafayette. This is the 158th meeting of this rivalry. This is the old man. We also have the Military Classic of the South, Citadel versus the Virginia Military Academy Institute, VMI, the
Yeah.
78th meeting there. And then in the Big Sky, guys, we got Battle of the Domes.
Oh yeah.
Idaho
Um,
and Idaho State.
I've heard a rumor, which they mentioned this earlier in the year. I was thinking about potentially flying up to Pocatello for this game. I was thinking about it earlier in the year, but again, had some
Life. Yeah.
positive family news delayed my traveling here. But there is a rumored trophy of the return of the King Spud.
Ooh, because the one they have right now for this one's kind of lame. Like they have a trophy for this, and it's kind of lame. Let me find it. It's all the problem is that I typed in Battle of the Dome and I got things for a show called Battle Dome, which has a bunch of half naked people. I've never seen this series before. Idaho football.
So there is this trophy, which it is basically a giant potato with a crown on it that may
Mm.
be making a return.
It's
So
like a
Oh
fancy
my
Mr.
god, it's
Potato Head.
amazing.
yes, if Coach Eck and them win it, we're gonna have to ask Coach Eck to weigh it.
Yes, absolutely. God, it's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. It is a fancy Mr. Potato Head. I kind of love
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah.
It does have some very scary ass energy. I won't lie.
Yeah.
It just also this weekend. If you want to talk about an expensive ticket to get, the game is also this weekend. That is Harvard and Yale.
Mm.
I will say, since we talked about ticket prices there, the highest price of Arkansas State at Texas State,
Mhm.
yeah, it is higher than the Yale Harvard ticket. The $446 mark, yeah, they didn't even meet that. I thought for sure that the tickets would be much higher for the game between Yale and Harvard.
But how much? Do you know how much it is to get in the door of this game? Like what the cheap price is to get in the door?
A lot more expensive, of course.
200. This one's always expensive to get into because this is the one all the alums want to go to.
Mr. Burns will be there.
Yes, he will. Why did those Harvard boys even show up this time?
I don't know. They barely beat us.
Can we get excited about UC Davis at Sacramento State?
Honestly, the
Sure.
way UC Davis is playing lately, I know Sacramento State is undefeated. They're likely rolling into the FCS playoffs, maybe a 1 or 2 seed, depending on how Montana State does this weekend in the Brawl of the Wild. UC Davis may have something for them.
They
Coach-
beat the ever-loving tar out of Idaho, and I did
That's
not
right.
see that coming.
UC Davis is on fire. That's Coach Dan Hawkins, right?
Yes,
Yeah, the UC Davis Aggies.
yes, I knew that. Another one of the oldest games is also being played this week. The 133rd meeting of Richmond and William and Mary.
Ooh,
Richmond leads the series 64, 63, and 5. So this is a very close one as well.
wow.
So a lot
That's-
of like big old games this week.
Some good stuff. So I mean, FCS tends to end a week early, so FCS ending early for that because they have the playoff coming.
Right.
The FBS ones still don't feel right, but the FCS ones definitely do.
Okay, I think we have covered a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a lot of everything.
Oh yeah.
Katie, you got anything else on your heart?
No, I'm good.
Kamish, what you got?
No, again, just want to send love to Charlottesville and Virginia. We wish you all the best. Just such a tragic event, and the committee again just really at a loss for words. Just so incredibly sad. Also, shout out Virginia Tech for doing the Hokies for Who's thing that they did.
Yeah.
That was something incredible and just such a heartbreaking event.
Well, folks, have a good week 12, and we will see you on the other side.